Hello, everyone. Hope you guys learned a lot from the previous Google Workspace video tutorials. For today, we're going to talk about Google Sheets for beginners, the basics, part one. And I just want you to use this video through your phone or your iPad and then get your laptop or computer so you can practice with me. Okay, so let's do that. If you're ready, before you even start, don't forget to hit the subscribe button because I'm gonna make an effort for this. Okay. I believe I deserve that subscribe button and notification bell because there's gonna be a lot more tutorials for you guys. Let's go. Okay, first step is to log in. So once you're logged in, okay, then you may just go to this Google Apps in your Chrome browser, guys. You see these boxes on the top right beside your profile, click that, and then if you like, if it's not here yet because it's here already on top, but if you want to check at the bottom because sometimes it's there, then you will find Google Sheets. Just click that, and then you are gonna be led here. Okay, as you can see, I've been using it for the longest time. So we can get you can start with a blank spreadsheet or with a template, up to you. And if you wanna go through your previous work, you will see everything here at the same time in different views at the same time. Okay. So that is just one way. There's another one through Google Drive. If we go to your Google Drive, for example, you want to open a new Google Sheet and go back, you can do that. All right, you can do that. Okay. As mentioned earlier, we're gonna do a blank spreadsheet for today, not like a specific template. I love using templates because it makes my life so easier. But for now, for this tutorial, let's do a blank spreadsheet. Just click this back and it'll lead you to a fresh spreadsheet. So if you want to go back, for example, to the home page of spreadsheets, then you just click this Sheets Home, and you go back here. If we want to open a new one or create a new one, just click Main Menu. You can create new docs, sheets, slides, vids, forms. So this is just new vids, okay? And then Google Drive. Everything that you create are saved in the Google Drive. Okay, and like for example here, you will see everything here already. My Drive. Okay, you'll see everything here. Okay, and then here as well, you can, as mentioned earlier, you can open or create new ones. Like for example, Google Sheet. You can even click this arrow and choose between blank spreadsheet or a template. But for now, I'm gonna use a spreadsheet. So let's go. Okay, let me just delete the other places. There. Now, okay, you can always rename, okay, your spreadsheet. Let's rename it as demo spreadsheet. And whenever I create something, okay, whenever I create something and it's still on the works, I make sure I start it by clicking this because I want to be able to like find it right away, especially if I'm not done with the document yet. So at least when you check on your Google Drive, okay, and you click start, you will easily find, see there, you'll easily find all your sheets or documents that you're not done yet. So it, and at least you know that it automatically saves in your Google Drive. Okay. Let us start with the basics. Okay. What do you see here? Okay. The whole Google Sheet. On top, you will see here the menu bar. You'll have here the Sheets Home, which leads you back to the main hub of Google Sheets. You have the title here. Where is it saved? Where do you want to move it? Okay, you have the menu bar here. You have your history. You have here comments. You have here if you want to join a call with a person you collab with, okay, through Gmeet. Okay, and then you have here your account and of course Gemini. All right. And what kind of sharing? Later, I'll go through that. Here, you'll see all the tools. This is the toolbar. Here, this is the formula bar, and here at the bottom, this is the tab bar. So you can always add tabs or sheets by clicking this. You can see all sheet summary here. Okay, you can always rename, you can always color, up to you. But let's start with one sheet only, and let's go through the rest in the future. Okay. And when you say row, I can select a whole row by clicking a number like this, and you have selected all rows. Okay. By default, you have 1,000 rows. Okay. If I want to select a specific column like C, for example, there you go. And by default, you have 26 rows, A to Z. But you can always add later on. I'll teach you how to add columns and rows. Okay, so when you multiply that 26 times 1,000, that's 26,000 cells. What is a cell? Okay, a cell is a union of a row and a column. Like for example, pack this one. So this is five. Okay, this is row five. Okay, column D. So this is a cell. Okay, so this is cell D5. We start with the column and then the row number. So D5, you can always see it here. Okay, so the union of a row and a column is equals to a cell. You like it? Now, if I click this here, then this is already J7. See, and it shows here as well. If I click here, this is now what? F15. See, it says here as well. So, Jam, what's up with the cell? This cell is where you input things. It's where you will input everything that you need, okay, in a specific cell. Now, let's talk about a range. What is a range? It's a combination of two or more cells, okay? So if I do this, there, that is a range. It says E9, okay, E9, column F9, F9. If I go down here, okay, again, a range is a combination of what? Two or more cells. So this is E9 still, E9, column F10, F10. So there. If I go down, okay, E9 still, because this is the top left corner. Bottom right is always the last one, column F11. So that's how you read a range. Again, going back to the sheets, as I mentioned earlier, you can always add sheets by clicking this, right? You can always add that. You can always rename by double clicking. Let's say name one. Okay, and there are other options if we click this button right here, the arrow down. Okay, you'll see here delete. Okay, you can delete that sheet. You can always duplicate, copy to a new spreadsheet or an existing spreadsheet. So you can do that. Rename earlier when I double click, change color, you can change it to red if you want. See? You can protect the sheet, hide sheet, move right, move left, view comments, and many, many more. But I will talk about that once again later. But for now, let's just have one sheet, so let's delete the rest. Okay, let's start adding some data. So let's go to C3, for example, and notice when I type something, and if I want to type something on a cell, I double click it. Okay, so you see that. Okay, and then I type anything, say hi jam. Notice that it shows here as well on the formula bar. Meaning to say, you can write both from the formula bar or through the cell. Like if I click this, for example, hi Jam, how are you? It shows. Again, if I want to edit from the cell, let me delete hijam. It updates here. How are you? Okay, so you can do that in both a cell or through the formula bar. Okay, and if you wanna do a redo or an undo, you can either undo by clicking Control or Command Z. Okay, it goes back to the original one. If you wanna redo, okay, then just Control Y or Command Y. See, there you go. It's easier with your your keyboards. Okay, now one thing you want to look at when you start a sheet or a file is yung zoom. Okay? Because we're currently at 100 and it's super small for me. So in inputting data, I like something that's zoomed in more. So I'd go to 150. So it's easier for me to see. It's bigger. I can even go 200 if I want. But at the end, if I want to see like the overall look of it, then I can go 50 and I can see everything. You know what I mean? So you can always adjust to this. But for now, I want to do 150 to be sure. And then I'll just get rid of this. There you go. Better? Yes. Let us start with a simple exercise. I will start with the heading. Let's say rank. Okay. A1 rank. And then to go to B1, I will um, click or I will tap the right button in my keyboard and put title. Next is adjusted lifetime gross. Okay. Estimated, I know, just lifetime gross. We're talking about performance of movies. All right. Estimated number of tickets, and then lastly, year. Okay. As you've noticed, these ones, C1 and E1, they went all the way under D and F because it's longer, the text is longer than the size of the cell. But if you click that, you see here in the what do you call this formula bar, it's complete, right? So there. Now, you can actually adjust it in two ways or in many ways. Like for example, here you can always go in between C and D and then drag it until you see that it's complete here. Or you can start with E in between E or F because this is still under. All you have to do is to double click it. Pack. That's the easiest. But again, you can undo Command Z. If I want to do multiple, I just click here, this one right here, and then go in between and click or double click. Pack. Okay? And then you can always adjust later, like the title. Okay? It automatically did that because they base it on the word, how short your word is. You can readjust later. And that also works for back rows. Okay, now you know how to adjust a column and a row. Okay, so I'm back. So I added all the data needed for this example. Okay, all I'm gonna do right now, everyone, is you've noticed dito earlier, we used to have titles up here. And we need those titles up here, no? But Jam, how do you go about it? Do I erase this and do another round? No. You can always add a row like either on top or at the bottom and a column on the left side or before and after the specific cell. Okay, all you have to do is to right click this. For example, I want to be at number 1. I'm going to right click that. Okay, and as you can see, there's a choice between below or above. So like you get to choose one. Okay, but as you can see, as I click below, it went below row one. But don't worry if you had a mistake, you can always drag it up here. See? And all you have to do is to what? Add the titles up here again. And then you're good. Looking at this, it doesn't make sense. What is this? Okay, so I need a title on top. So once again, right click, add a row, insert a row above. So I can add a title here. Let's name this top 10 movies in the world based on, oh my gosh, lifetime bros. Okay, let's do that. Now, if I want to add another row on top, I can always go to insert as well. So I can just click a specific number first, insert, and then you can go rows above or below. See, you can do that as well, but I don't need that anymore. So here are other options. You can always delete, clear. When you say clear, if there are texts on the cell within the row, it will clear. Okay, you can hide, and you can always unhide by clicking the arrow here, back. You can always resize and create a filter. But here, I will just delete it. Now, I don't want this to be like this. I don't want it to be just in a cell on the right side. I want it to cover everything, all the headings up to year, and I want it to be at the center. How do I go about the job? All you have to do is to merge cell. Okay? Just click this A1 where the main text is. How do I know it's here? Oh, it says here. Drag it all the way to the final header. Okay, above it. And then click this. This is called merge cell. Pack. It merged all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells, 6 cells into one. Okay, how do I put it at the center? Of course, just like your docs. There you go. Okay. You can also do like alignment, middle, and then you're good. Okay? Very easy as a title. As you can see, my table is not really presentable. So let me do something about it. We can always learn how to make it presentable. Like, for example, let's start with your sizing of your columns and rows. Like, I'm okay with the size of my columns, of my rows, I mean, but the columns, no. So I need to adjust by double clicking. See, at least it covers everything, that nothing's hidden. I want my numbers, except for the year, to have the same what do you call this, column size. So I will highlight C, D, and E, and then I can always move it a little bit there. So it has the same column size as you can see. And then the year, make it smaller there. Now I want everything at the center. So I'll just highlight everything. Same procedure as earlier. Center, and I want vertical align to be middle. See? See the difference? Okay. Since this is the title, I want this bigger. So I can do maybe 12, and then make this bigger, the row bigger, row size, bolder, make it bold, color it maybe to black, and then black cell, oh sorry, not the whole thing, but just the cell, click the cell, make it black by using this, the background, and then the text to white, right? This one, the headings, these are headings. Let me color it. It's the same thing, but just, you know, there. Make it bold. Okay. And then let's readjust these numbers because this one is too tight already. So let me readjust it a little bit more. There. So now it looks more presentable, right? Next, let's talk about borders. Okay. So you can always add borders through this. Okay. You can select everything, all the cells, and then just click that, and then just click this, all borders. Then you're done. But I don't like it like that. Okay. So you can control Z or command Z. Maybe I just want the outside layer. So there are other options. Just the outside, just the inside, right? You just have to imagine. So I just want the outer borders there. Okay. Maybe I want these on top to have the full borders. So all borders there. See, and then that's better for me. The rest is okay. You can always adjust. Like for example, I want the outer borders to be thicker. See, you can always click border style and you can choose a thicker version. Okay. Or maybe you want a dotted one. You can change it anytime. But I'm already okay with that type. And then you can also change the colors, but I'm a very minimalist person, so I like black. Black is okay. Okay, so that's how it looks like. More presentable for me. Okay, now we all know that when it says gross, then it's money, right? So these ones are money. These are number of tickets sold. So this is not money. This is quantity. Okay, so I want to adjust everything by first making sure that these are money in USD. So let me hold that. Let me highlight all these first. And then, of course, what I'll do is to click this to make sure that it turns into USD. But what happened was what? It added what? The decimal point zero zero. If I want to remove that, just decrease it. If I want it there, then increase it. If I want more, then I'll increase it more. Okay, but I don't like it there. If I want other currencies, okay, click more formats. We can custom currency. We can choose whatever currency you want, like Philippine pesos or whatever. It will show up. See, Philippine pesos. Apply. No, but I want USD. So there you go. Now, as you can see, with the estimated number of tickets, it had 0.00. So let me decrease that once again. Back. Then you are good. You are all set. So this is now your first table. Very basic, very easy, very presentable, aligned, minimalist, okay? Very well formatted. Congratulations. Let's go to the next one, okay? You can always hit pause, guys. Anytime, always hit pause, okay? If you think it's fast or if you can't follow, always hit pause and then continue after, okay? No pressure. Okay, let's start adding basic formulas, guys. Very basic only. But if you wanna learn more formulas that I did before, it's in another video. I'll just link it up here or below. But let's add another sheet first and practice. As you can see, whenever we type in a cell, it automatically shows here in the formula bar. But whenever we want to add a formula, we always start with equals. And and Excel, or I mean Google Sheet, can do basic mathematical equations too. Like for example, 2 plus 2, enter, that's 4. You notice that it says 4 in the cell, but it doesn't say 4 in the formula bar. The reason why is because you can review the formula through the formula bar. You can do basic one, like for example, and you can write it from here as well, right? So example, 2 times 5, right? 10. We can do 5 minus 2, Then three. If it's multiply, it should be asterisks, okay? Let's say 2. Then if it's slash, then it's divide. Divided by 5.4. See? That's how you go about it. But for example, okay, I go to an empty cell like this one. I choose equals, I want a formula. I choose a cell, this plus this, enter. As you can see, it says 0. Why does it say 0? Because there are no figures here yet. But if we add, for example, here 5 and 7 here, it will automatically add. And it can automatically adjust. For example, I switches to 5 back. That is the power of formulas here in the spreadsheet. So let's go back to the main table, okay, and play around with just basic formulas through these. Let's go. Let's do the average between the two. So let's go here, back here at the column D, and then right click, add column right. I'll name it average. Okay, let's start with equals, and then click lifetime gross divided by to get the average. This one, lifetime, adjusted lifetime, and then enter. As you can see, it shows 0. Why? It's because of the formatting. We did currency. Now we want the average, so we'll change it to format as percent. Now it shows. We don't want this, we want it rounded off as a whole number, and then you readjust the decimal places. There. If we want to get everything again, just double click. There you go. And then triple check if it's the right formula in your end. And then we can reformat the borders after. Not a problem, no biggie. That's very easy. So as you can see, and then I want to like make it smaller there. So it looks better and no awkward spaces. Very powerful, guys. One more function that I want to show you is the freeze function. So, for example, I want these two to stay the title and the heading. So, what I'll do is to click this, okay, cell number 2, so that when I click view and add freeze, I can choose up to row 2, which is the heading. There you go, it freezes there. The title and the heading freezes. So as you can see, if I scroll down, even if I go all the way down, I know the legend. I know what this is. What if I want to freeze um, columns A and B? So I'm always reminded of what movie it is. So I can do that. I will click B, view, freeze up to column B. But there's a problem. Let me check. Oh, it's because I merged this one, but at least you know that we can do that here through the same process. Because if I want to do that, like for example, I need to unmerge it. So let's see, let's unmerge it. Oh, here. Unmerge. And then I can always go to B, and then I can always freeze it. Column B. There. Now it works. But again, the title won't be there anymore. So I don't want to do that anymore, so I'll undo it. And merge this again. Okay, merge. There you go. That is a lot better for me. Now there are other functions here, such as view. You can always show formulas if you do that. For example, there you go. And then you will see all the formulas. You will see all the cells with formulas if we want to know which one are with formulas. So there you go. And then you can always hide that as well. Okay. And you can also, sorry, you can also unhide or hide grid lines. There. So that looks better. But I don't want to do that now because we're going to do more later. There you go. So these are the rest of the functions that you can maximize through Google Sheet, guys. So now let's play with some more functions. Earlier, I just showed you equations and a little bit of formulas. Now, let's work on functions. So, Jam, what does that mean? For example, I want to get the sum of all these. Earlier, with my topic, I would do equals and then this cell plus sign and this one by one. But no, we're not going to do that today. It's either you go here, click functions, or you can go insert, okay, and then function, and you get the same thing. But, okay, you can also manually type equals sum, and then you just highlight, or you can just copy this, right? Open parenthesis, copy this, highlight the range, and then enter. Then that is the total of this. If I want to copy the same formula here, drag it to the right, then you'll see I did the same thing with D3 to D12. Okay. If I want to see the average of these, same. Go to the cell where you want to place it, function, and then average, and then highlight, enter. And then you can do the same thing. Drag it on the right side, you'll see the average of the same thing, right? D3 to 12. If I want to see the max of this range, again, function, max, and then range, enter. You'll see it says 1.8, and it's this one, which makes sense because it's rank 1. You can do the same here. It says 659. Which one is it? This one, Titanic, the lifetime gross. So you see, that's how it works. Very powerful. I say play around with these first. The rest are super not super important for basic virtual assistants. It's just these. Okay. But you can always learn through again the internet. Okay, let's proceed to creating charts. But before that, let us label this first. I am very OC, so let me just fix that. Let me merge. Let's call this sum, and then average, and then max. And then let me just put it all on the right side. I want the same font size. Then, yeah, it's the same. Sorry. And then this one on bold. This one at the center, bold. And then I want this one merged. So I can just do this. I want black. And then the text is white. Sorry, guys. And then let me just do this one. There you go. Okay, that looks better. Now let's go to creating charts. So first is to identify from the data which one would you like to create charts from. So let's try, of course, the title first, and then let's try the adjusted lifetime gross. From there, you can insert, okay, and then chart, or you can click this one, insert chart, and it will create an instant chart wherein it will show you, okay, the title. So let's call this movie titles, and then adjusted lifetime gross, and then let's click this to movie. You can actually like edit from here. Just double click it. Then on the right side, there's a setup and customize. You can always change what kind of graph you want. You want a line chart, up to you. I actually want the bar graph instead. Okay, and then you can always change the range through this. Okay, but I won't. I'm okay. Customize chart style. That will be okay. Background is white. Titles are okay. Okay, no, they're not okay. Movie title. Sorry. There you go. Movie titles. Series. I want it to change color. Let's do black there because I want it to be uniformed. Very minimalist. Okay. Trend line. Sorry. Where was that? Data labels. They're too big. Maybe font size to 10. No, too big. That's too big. So maybe, wag na tayo mag-font style. Wag na mag-data labels. Siguro, that's fine na. Trend line. There, mag-add tayo ng trend line. Tapos yung color is siguro, let's color it there. Okay? Ay, ayan. And then you can always like drag it anywhere here and resize it. Diba? Now, you can do the same. For example, title. Let's just do this movie title na lang. Movie title. So another one, let's talk about the number of tickets naman. Okay? That's two ranges. Ginawa ko, pagka-highlight ko na to, control, naka-hold, tapos ito naman, estimated number of tickets. Same. Pindutin mo lang to, pack. See? Ito naman yan, estimated number of tickets per versus movie title. Ayan. So, notice, pinilitan ko na here, so automatic na siya nag-change. And I still want a bar graph, so that's fine. And then, I'm going to, what? No, maybe I want to change it to pi, but this one. Okay. And then let me. Ay, ako na nga. Ay, gusto ko para simple, maganda tingnan, aesthetic ba? Let's do not a donut chart, but this one instead. Yeah. And then series, change it to black. That's it. And then trend line, same color. Okay. Then that should be okay. Back. We're good. Right? Pwede pa natin palakihin if you want. Para, ito naman, Jam is very OC. So, let's make it bigger. Sorry. We can make it bigger if we want. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. There. Diba? It's better, bigger, and aligned. Now, Jam, how do you print this? How do you save this as PDF or whatever? Very easy. Okay, once you're done with everything, you can select whatever you want to select. For example, just this one, not the charts anymore. I'll show you later why. Let's say you click print. So this is how it looks like with the current sheet. If it's in current sheet, but if you want selected cells only, poof, it's easier, right? And then you can change the paper size, you can change landscape or portrait, fit the width, the scale if you want, margins if you want. When it comes to formatting, you can show grid lines or do not show it. But in my end, I want the whole thing and then do not show the grid lines. That looks very nice. As you can see, that's why I already fixed it earlier. Okay, now I can go next and then choose a printer, whatever, and then print. But here you can save it as PDF and then save. Okay, and there are other ways to save it as PDF by going to files and then go download and download it as a PDF or other um format at the same time, like Microsoft Excel. So see, that's how you go about it. Same settings. Of course, if you want to collaborate, again, this is the power of Google Sheets, right? Um, I am annoyed with the grid line, so let me remove that. See, what I usually do is to clean it. I go all the way at the end and then delete columns. Sorry, delete columns. See, and then I click this, shift control, and then down, delete rows. So it looks better that way. See, it's very presentable. Of course, it's me there. And you can share it to through an email to your, for example, Urban, and then add a message. Or maybe you can also like edit what kind of access you want to give him and send the message to the email, or maybe just change this to like from restricted to anyone who has a barangay via email as a viewer only, or editor or commenter, up to you, or anyone with the link can be a viewer only or a commenter or editor, and then just copy link and send it to that person. So anyone can collaborate here. Again, everything saves to your Google Drive automatically as it says here. And these are just basics number one. I think I'm gonna do a part two. But if you're looking for more formulas, I have already a video about Google Sheet formulas ready for you. All right. Thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Follow, subscribe, like, comment below your feedback, and I'll see you guys on the next tutorial. Bye.